All right, we should be live. If we are not, well, then fuck. But we should be. So let's just talk about this. So, I just saw Endgame. Wait, I should do an intro. Hello, guys. Donald, aka Excited Baron 115 here, aka Blood Baron 115 here, coming at you today with an Endgame review. Many spoilers, so spoilers aplenty, pretty much. I'm gonna do some lack of spoilers to start everything off, and then I'll let you know when the spoilers are coming. My thoughts without any spoilers. Amazing movie. One major plot hole at the end. I think there's a second one that I'm forgetting that was really bothering me, but now I can't think of it. But most definitely one major plot hole at the end. And one thing that I just didn't understand exactly what happened. I really feel like there's no plot hole, but the end had a major plot hole that really bothers me. If they just would have like done that a different way that wouldn't have caused a plot hole, I think the rest of the way it worked out was really good. It's an amazing movie. If you're a comic book fan, you will love this. I'm someone who constantly critiques like movies that I watch. I'm like, that was bad because this reason, this reason, this reason, or this was good because this reason, this reason, this reason. And frequently people don't agree with me because they're just like, well, I just enjoyed the movie. Well, okay, but did you think about it critically? Like, what movie do I want to bring up? Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Fine movie. I think it wasn't necessary. I wasn't a big fan of Captain Marvel, but it was a fine movie. A lot of people just raging about it. But yeah, they use all the different characters very well. I personally found Endgame very obvious in the way that it did everything because, well, I stayed away from spoilers, so I didn't get any spoilers, but just things that have been rumored and talked about and theorized over the past year, however long since Infinity War came out, which I think was a year. Could be 2 years, honestly. I think it was just a year. We'll go with a year. So there's just a lot of theorizing since then. Most of the theories, if not all, made the movie feel quite obvious. But aside from that, a really good movie. I'm referring to it as a perfect movie and a masterpiece, aside from the plot hole issue at the end. With that being said, spoilers are now going to be a thing. And I actually completely forgot to open up the chat. So now I feel silly. Hold on. Let me open up the chat because I'm a silly boy. Is this the chat one? No, that's not what I want. Chat? Open and brought. Yeah, there we go. Now we got the chat one. Oh my god, you can hear my laptop. It's so loud. Laptop, why are you so loud? Alright, let's get into this. So, spoilers. Now, rest of the thing, many a spoiler. I'm going to like break this movie down and try and keep it under like a 10-minute review. That probably won't happen. Many times, I almost cried during this movie. And that is because the intro would almost kill me as a dad and a fiance. I was gonna say a husband. I'm not a husband yet, but I'm a fiance. It hurt. It hurt me on a personal level for that to happen to Clint. With his family disappearing. As soon as I saw him with his family, I was like, oh yeah, this is pre-snap. He's losing his family, and this is fucked up. But like, oh my god, it was so good and so heartbreaking. Oh my god, and then him becoming like a villain of sort, like him going around like, oh, I guess a rogue, like an anti-hero, I guess more so, as Ronin, I believe is what he was referred to in the comics as that. I think they called him that once in the movie or something like that. You know, I love that. His character arc was great. I figured that when him and Natasha were going to get the Soul Stone, like I figured that Clint was good trying to throw himself in, like, this is to tell my family I love them, and just like dive in. And I thought that was handled very well. I know I kind of just jumped way ahead, but I wanted to just mention that because I really want a Hawkeye movie now. Oh my god, it was so good, so good. And speaking of I want a Hawkeye movie, I'm very confused because I thought there was supposed to be a Black Widow movie next year. And with the fact that Black Widow is now dead, like, how do you do that? How do you even do that if she's dead? But I'm pulling up the Avengers Endgame Wikipedia page to look at the plot to kind of get my thoughts across in a timely manner. But I really just want to bring up that first point. The other spot that had me the closest to crying wasn't so much a sad moment, but like it was just very heartfelt when Scarlet Witch came up against Thanos, and she's like doing the thing, because I love Scarlet Witch. She's such a badass in the comics. I'm not a fan of her in the movies because they have like severely dumbed her power level down. Because I really just want her to be like, I want her to do similar to at the end of House of M, where she's like no more mutants or whatever, and just like do that to like he said, I don't even know you, and she's like, you will, or something like that, and then she like lifts him up and like it starts tearing at him. I wish she would have said like no more hate or something like that, and or no more war, something along those lines, and just obliterated Thanos. That would have made me so happy. Most fans probably wouldn't have liked that, especially of the movies, because they're probably just like, Scarlet Witch, just, well, she's nothing. Scarlet Witch is severe. I really don't like Scarlet Witch in the movies. Don't like Scarlet Witch in the movies. If they could make her better, I would enjoy her character better. But yeah, that was probably my favorite moment of the movie. Was that? That was such a good moment. Okay, anyway, let's look at this. Oh, the other plot hole. Okay, let me talk about the two plot holes, because I'm gonna forget them. Because this keeps slipping out of my mind. Plot hole at the end. Oh no, let me talk about. Oh, they're both at the end technically. Like so there's a 5-year time jump, and Peter comes back to life at the end of the battle, which is after the 5-year jump. And then they show him back at school in like one of the ending parts, not like an end cutscene or whatever, but like while they're wrapping up the movie and kind of getting everywhere, like showing where they're going and such. He goes back to school and hugs Ned or whatever. I think that is his name. And Ned doesn't look older. Looks like it's the same school. And if Far From Home is taking place after this, that really makes no sense. That's a huge plot hole. Other than just like skipping time, but Peter Parker is going to be still hanging out with people that were his age 5 years ago and are now aged without him, and like, so that just doesn't make any sense. And the other thing that is much more bothersome than that, that's a plot hole you can just look over. You're like, okay, it's fine. They'll probably have a way to work around it. But this one makes no sense. They talk the whole movie about how like you doing something back in time creates a new timeline. It doesn't affect the timeline that you are currently in. They make a big point of that with the time stone when Hulk tries to get it. So having Captain America go back in time. So I saw him when he went back in time at the end of the movie to return the stones. I knew he was going to go stay with Peggy. 100% what I saw coming. Just no doubt in my mind. I was so glad that he had the dance. I think that was great because it doesn't actually cause a plot hole, because he can go exist in that new timeline, and that timeline will be an offshoot. But the fact that he was then sitting there, that's a plot hole, because he shouldn't be there. That should not happen, because when he goes back in time, it's a different timeline. It's not the same timeline. Well, it's the same timeline, but it's an alternate reality now, because he stayed. Technically. So they're going with parallel dimension kind of theory, instead of being able to actually change things. Which is like the whole point of them not just going back and like stopping Thanos. It was, they have to go back and get these stones and return them, because it's going to destroy other timelines. It won't affect our timeline. It will destroy other timelines. It won't even affect the timeline if they were to do that. That bothers me. Huge plot hole. Pretty much my only major issue with the movie. But now let me finally go run through this plot that is written on the Wikipedias and just talk about that. 3 weeks after Thanos used the Infinity Stones to eliminate half of all life across the universe, Carol Danvers rescues Nebula and Tony Stark. Yeah, that was good. I was a fan of that. I thought that was a good way of doing that. I really thought Tony Stark was dead for a minute there. I was like, wow, they're just killing him off really early. Then they rejoin the remaining Avengers. Let's see, Romanoff explains the world government are in a state of chaos trying to get out. Yeah, it makes sense. Sense to show that everyone's like dead. Thanos reveals he destroyed the Infinity Stones to prevent them. Yes. And then Thor killing him, amazing. I loved it. That was great. Like, the whole beginning was great. Up until the 5 year later, great movie telling. Great storytelling. Then there's the time jump. Scott Lang escapes the quantum realm, talks to the Avengers. Lost my shoe. Lost my sandal. Maybe I shouldn't just go through this, because I don't think I think I just want to talk about specifically. Yeah, I'm changing the way I'm doing this. I was going to talk about the movie in order. after I got those few points out, but I think I'm just going to talk about random points instead. I don't review things very often, so I'm new to this. I thought it was hilarious how many times they said shit. Like, I liked that that was very gritty while also being funny and lighthearted in a sense, the movie as a whole. Um, when Tony says shit and his daughter's behind him, like, shit. Oh, no, don't say that. His mommy's rude. That's hilarious. Where was Gamora at the end scene? Where was she? Missing. I don't understand what's going on there. She wasn't there for the funeral, and she wasn't there with the Guardians. Very confused by that. Maybe Guardians 3, they go searching for Gamora? Maybe? I'm just trying to think of like plot points I really want to talk about. The battle was awesome, very cool looking. I didn't like how the bombardment should have killed Scott. I thought he died. I legitimately thought he was dead. Because he is just a dude. Like, being able to shrink should not have survived that. Also, Hawkeye should have died from that. Except they were in a protected area, so that makes sense. Good point. But Scott should have died. Think he should have died. I'm glad he didn't because I like Scott as a character. Great character. I love Paul Rudd as an actor. Love it. But I think he should have died. Would have made more sense. Him living that didn't make sense to me. But I get, like, he goes small, the explosion doesn't hurt him as much. But he's not an extra resilient character. He's never been a resilient character. That's the only thing about me. There was a lot of killing. There was a lot of killing in this movie. Which is understandable. Like, they're fighting, like, random minions, but, like, Peter Parker killing people. That's weird. Like, that... I mean, he's not Batman with a no-killing policy, who actually breaks the policy all the time, but... Peter Parker just, like, keep entering... And insta-kill mode, or whatever, like, in the battle, just, like, shh. Looked really cool. Really didn't make sense to me for him to do that as a character. I was like I was nerdgasming, screaming everywhere during that whole battle before like the war started with just like the Cap, Thor, Iron Man versus Thanos. That was great. The call from Sam. That was great. The battle was just amazing. It was so well put together. I think the only other thing that really I can say negative about the movie is all the reused footage. It made sense for what they were doing, but I don't know. I didn't really want to see the footage again. Rather, new footage. I don't really want to see old things, but I guess this is the climax. I don't know. It's not bad that they did it. And if it wasn't there, I might say, oh no, I wish that was there, but I don't know. I don't like Thor the Dark World, and there was a lot of Thor the Dark World. I'm trying to think of other things. I don't know. I'm trying to think of just points I want to talk about. I can't think of any at the top of my head. Let me go look back at the Wikipedia. See if there's anything. I think the sequence on Vormir was excessive, with Natasha, with Black Widow and Hawkeye going back and forth with that. I think that was excessive. The Ancient One just giving up the Time Stone to Hulk just made sense, but doesn't make sense. Like, she's like, Strange is the best of us. He must have a plan. She should be able to look through the timelines and like know what's going on. She should be well aware of what's going on, especially if she knows like the Doctor Strange is gonna come along and be like the best Sorcerer Supreme or whatever. She should be aware of the different timelines and be aware of what timeline they're coming from. That I think would make sense. The fact that Tony could even handle the gauntlet. I'm just pointing out negative things because they're the easiest things to talk about. Because it's like, I didn't like this. It doesn't completely make sense. Like, they made a big thing of, like, humans can't wield this. And I guess since they knew it was gamma radiation, they could circumvent that with the suit. So I guess it still makes sense, but, like, they made a big thing about Peter Quill not being able to hold the Power Stone because he was human, but he didn't turn out to be human, which is why he was able to handle it at all. And because he had other people to siphon it through. The fact that Tony was able to handle it all doesn't make sense. But I think that might be why he died. So I guess that it's redeeming there. Okay, you know, every point I bring up, I'm just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. It just makes sense. Man, this is just such a good movie. This is just such a good movie. I'm wondering if Loki comes back. That's something I think might happen. Loki possibly coming back because of him like kicking the space stone. And since we saw that the fact that since the whole thing they were harping on was that it doesn't change our timeline to do things back here. That was the whole thing they were talking about. It doesn't make sense with Captain America being there. But does that mean since they did that, they obviously broke their rule and it doesn't work how they said it works? Maybe that's how they're just gonna do it. Is like, ooh, this is how we thought it worked, but it just didn't work that way because time's confusing. In which case is Loki still alive? Does he have the space stone and doesn't end up back with doesn't end up with Thor from Ragnarok or whatever and doesn't get killed by Thanos maybe? Is he actually alive because he got that? Is that how he had the space stone in Infinity War? That's actually something I would like. But again, brings up a major plot hole. Time travel makes things messy. So you got to really be careful, or else I'm just gonna bitch about plot holes. With all that being said, actually, I feel like that's enough. Just trying to talk about. I thought the movie was amazing. I wasn't like choked up and upset. I mean, I was sad obviously to see Tony go, but like I wasn't choked up like, oh my god, Tony. Like it wasn't one of the tear-jerking moments for me. The cheeseburgers, fucking cheeseburger. That shit almost killed me though. That scene, her asked for cheeseburgers, and Happy's like, Dad like cheeseburgers. You all the cheeseburgers you want. That killed me again because I'm a dad. Because I was just thinking, if that was Baby Baron, who wanted cheeseburgers, and like Dragon Man, good friend, it's just like, Dad love cheeseburgers. I'll get you all the cheeseburgers you want. But it would probably be like that, but with like stinger subs or pizza. Like, I want some pizza. Dad love pizza. I'll get you all the pizza. Oh man, such good moments in that movie. Just really that one major plot hole bringing it down from a 10. I give it a 9. Between like an 8 and a 9.5 because I'm thinking of like some other things that kind of bothered me a little. But I'm going with a 9. I'm giving it a 9 rating. Give it 9. Bam. With that being said, though, guys, give it a 9. I end this because I want to do other things. I feel like it's such a long movie, so I feel like I've just spent my whole day like at the movie theater. So, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for the good shit. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a stream or an upload. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And peace.